And we are.
But it's standard Hershey's milk chocolate. Anything you have.
Well, there's the first problem.
There's the first
Did I
problem.
walk on? Did I walk into people being chocolate snobs? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
apparently, the Canadians are chocolate snobs.
The Canadians are kind of chocolate snobs because our chocolate
just
is
because you have your
chocolate.
fancy orange thing, you have to slam on a table.
Okay. To be fair, the orange thing you have to slam on the table is like one of my favorite like candies. So
Terry's chocolate orange.
This one?
Yeah.
Little...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, Zoro, do you know
thing?
those come in white chocolate too?
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
They're snowballs. Terry's snowballs.
Yep.
They come in
dangerous information you just gave.
You can get them in dark chocolate as well.
Those are
my favorite. Is the dark chocolate with it.
Yeah, they come in white chocolate orange too.
I don't even like dark chocolate, but I get with citrus-based stuff. So like this, like orange and raspberry is good with dark chocolate. Otherwise, I usually don't like it. But I'm like, this is dangerous. This is very dangerous information.
Taking the hoodie off because we've got the heater going and it cooks my room, and I've got all the lights on, so I'm not cold at the moment. Oh, but how is everyone? Happy New Year.
Good.
Happy New Year.
Still recovering from being sick for a week and a half.
You shouldn't do that.
Sorry.
It's bad for your health.
Yeah.
I mean, not a whole lot I can do. My body says "fuck you" to the moon.
Yep. My mom was like the week before Christmas. My mom came down with pneumonia and a partially collapsed lung because of all like the mucus and everything. There was like a block. So. Yeah.
Oh no.
As someone who survived foul pneumonia, it is not fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're recovered.
Oh no, that wasn't fun. No.
I'm still weak, and my sinuses still hate me. And I have to be careful because every so often I will have a random nosebleed, and since I work in and out of servers all day long. The last thing I need to do is to spew blood onto a server.
No, perform blood magic on the servers. Become the server. Become the ultimate system admin.
Become one.
No, because I don't want to be in the system of the data center I work for. It would serve me no beneficial purpose.
Sir, can you please explain why the owner of the system is now just called Tavinter Industries?
I mean, if it was a different company that I worked for data center wise, maybe I wouldn't mind sacrificing blood for the blood god. But yeah, no, I don't want to be trapped in that environment.
Have you considered Umbrella Corp?
If I could change it into Umbrella Corp and manifest the T-virus, then yes.
Oh my!
Don't manifest the T-virus. That was a mistake.
Yeah, no, I was like,
it didn't end well the
first
time. Don't do that.
Look, you're fine as long as you don't hire anybody with the last name Wesker. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the IT department. Don't worry.
Oh, but yeah. So we are down a few people today. But I didn't want the first show of the year to be delayed or canceled or anything. And I figure, 4 people out of the 7 is still enough to run, seeing as how D&D's minimum player base is always set to 4.
3 in a lawn ornament.
3 in a lawn ornament. This is true. This is true. 3 in a lawn ornament.
That's true. It is only 3. Fuck. It's not a long walk back home. It's okay, guys.
Oh man, and we have a hype train. Damn.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Holy hell, dude. I don't think I've seen the hype train in a while on our channel.
Oh. So just before we get started, the new year of Extra Life has started. I did all the registration and everything the other day. I believe everything is set up for this channel.
Nice.
Yeah, everything should be. I just need to change the bot command around, which I'm doing right now.
Yep. But
I mean, we did it already.
Yep, we are once again doing Extra Life. The little donation widget is down in the profile section if you want to help donate money and help some sick and injured children up at the Lawrence Small Children's Center in Bakersfield, California. As always, there are donation incentives that can come in.
We still need to do last year's the battle royale.
That was 2 years ago.
Shit, we need to get on that.
That was 2021.
Wait, was the battle? Well, I mean, it's
Vivicia, thank you for the biddies.
2023 just started, so I mean, it's still a year.
Yeah, Vivicia, thank you for the biddies.
It was the end. That's true. It was the very end of 2021.
Yep.
But the thing is, we have to wait till Gilatam comes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rose is not going into braggadocious combat without her boo.
Yeah, I want to see what that cleric can do at level 20. No, I don't.
I've been itching.
Don't
to
worry.
Play Kyo again lately.
Don't worry. I've also been working on the Invitational, where
my God,
people from outside campaigns or from other campaigns can join in on the fun.
Oh my God, Ash is gonna come all up. I mean, what?
Dude, can I bring back Dorngull?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
yes, you can.
As a level 20 and give everyone the circle of bees hug.
You instantly do psychological warfare on Ash and on Zoro.
No, I'm out. Mm-mm. The second you summon a swarm of bees, I'm done. That's not fair.
No, you become the swarm of bees.
Fuck that shit. That's even worse. I'm out. I'm done. Worst circle ever.
Best circle ever. Best circle ever.
Nope, I'm done. I'm glad he died before he used it.
I'm not. I wanted to see it. I like bees. Bees are cute.
No, they're not. Sorry.
Yes, they are. This is Hornets. They're the
I'm
ugly
biased.
fuckers. Hornets just look mean and angry.
So, the last time that we left off, the group set out from Hampstead to investigate the ongoings of a farmhouse outside the city to find out what exactly was delaying deliveries of food and supplies to the currently closed off Hampstead. Upon exiting the secret tunnel that had been created for the Hunters Guild to get in and out of the city, Drac informed you that they had found the cart, but it looked as if something or someone intentionally broke it down. But the goods were still there. They weren't stolen. It just looks like somebody just wanted to hinder the cart's movement. As you began traveling towards the farmhouse itself, you noticed movement in the trees. Pixies tailing you, keeping an eye on you. And you soon found out why as you got to the farmhouse and ran into a frost fae and a couple corrupted pixies that had turned the inhabitants of the farm into pigs. And they were also accompanied by a prismatic dragon. A fight went underway. Though it wasn't really much of a fight, aside from a few lucky hits and a couple debilitating shots from the dragon, everyone wasn't really worse for wear. Even though the Frost Fae did surrender because he technically had a message for Nolani, he was victim of one of Alistair's suplexes, which broke his neck and killed him instantly. Mia, after using one of her time magic spells, proceeded to slowly but surely turn to stone as she failed to save against the secondary effect of the prismatic dragon's breath weapon. Deciding that it was better to talk instead of fight with the dragon, it was revealed that the dragon was specifically there to take Nolani. on an adventure back towards the domain of the Snow Mother. Nalani, after having found new information that kind of put what she was taught as a child into question, willingly left with the Snow Mother, while the rest of you began to figure out how you were going to get back to Hampstead now with a 200+ pound statue in tow.
And does anyone besides Yuriko know that Nalani is going to see the Snow Mother? Because Yuriko did not out that information.
No. The only thing that Nalani told you was that she had to find out what the truth was regarding some of her people's history, and that had been passed down to her, and that this entity that she was going to had the answers. But as we pick up, you are still outside this farmhouse. Nalani now having walked off into the distance, leaving you with the freshly slaughtered corpses of the human inhabitants of the town, as they were also victims of the dragon's breath weapon. Farmers really don't have a very deep HP pool, and their saves suck. So, the three of you who are still technically functional, the floor is yours.
Right. So, do one of you want to be so kind as to carry Mia back? Alistair, how about you? You're strong and tall. You can do it. Secret silence is a yes.
The better question is, how much does statue Mia weigh?
It's double whatever Mia weighed in flesh form.
How heavy is Mia? We never ask a woman's weight. This is just rude.
She is normally 129 pounds.
So the statue is a little over 250.
Got high strength. That's not bad at all.
I'm gonna have to go look at the chart I never look at, okay?
Oh, God.
How much can you lift?
Yes.
Yeah, how much can you lift, bro?
That, literally, the chart that's like, it exists, and I never have to look at it until someone does something
It
dumb.
exists, and no one ever looks at it exactly.
Well, because nobody ever uses
Yeah.
maximum weight. The only time it's ever used is like on strength checks in order to, lift statues or catch falling doors.
Yeah, like when one of your party members gets turned into a lawn ornament.
Yeah, I want a
I
princess.
mean, that's...
I want a princess carry this dragon.
The last time we've had to look up weight was when Ash crushed the elder brain, and when she transformed into a giant bat to make sure she could carry y'all down.
Through
That's
a
been a
yellow
long time.
mold, okay?
No, it wasn't a Jello mold. It was that little Lego playset that you push the putty through, and then you have the plunger, and it just comes out and.
Yeah, it was the Play-Doh playset.
Yeah. On the bright side, I always have the 11 HP, or the 11 temp HP.
And it only goes away on a long rest, right?
That's true. So you're okay.
Sure. Let's go with that.
What? Okay. Sorry, Mia. How heavy is a Mia?
250-ish.
Yeah, I think 258.
Yeah.
Is the exact number?
258.
I need a calculator. There's going to be a combination of carrying and dragging, but I can make it happen.
What is your max carry?
My max carry is 255.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. If we want, since technically Alistair is still here, we know he's got high strength and just have.
No,
If we
no,
use two of us, we can easily carry
I'm not allowing Alistair because there are going to be checks that had to be made.
Oh, well, if there's checks, then yeah, I think. Well, I know Yuriko has high strength too.
And with the two of you, with two people carrying Mia's statue, then it's easy enough to do.
And we just pile any extra gear on top of Mia and.
I mean, technically, all you got to do is wait. No, because Mia has the wagon, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yep.
I was to say all you have to do is just get the little pumpkin wagon, but Mia's got that.
No offense. Going forward in the future, this is like the second or third time shit has happened with Mia. Why are we giving Mia our mode of transportation? We should do that.
To be fair, this is the first time I've been paralyzed or petrified. At least before,
but the way
you
you're
can reach
going,
into
you're
my
gonna
bag
find
and
every
take whatever you
status
need.
effect.
Yeah.
I know. It's like which one?
Yeah.
It's like which ones haven't you gotten yet?
It's not you're not playing Pokemon with status effects here.
Well, now you tell me.
When as they're carrying them, Kamek is going back to their old ways, pre-Nalani days, where this is exactly why I have it, the mold earth to push the snow out of the way so I don't have to like hop through it, just move. And since the cantrip doesn't mold earth, which means I can just move, so I just move the snow away or the whatever underneath to move it out of the way. It was mostly just for moments like this.
Is that a
So I'm like,
cantrip?
I'm too short. Move.
Is that a cantrip?
It's a cantrip, yeah.
So you're just gonna like earthbend your way through the snow?
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm making a path for you guys too, so I'm making it easier for you guys to carry a heavy object without, again going through the snow, especially when you still have a somewhat short bird.
I'm sorry, did you just call me heavy?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? I don't get to be nice when you turn into snow. Not that you knew that was gonna happen.
The question is, can Mia actually hear us?
I don't think Yuriko cares.
That's up to the DM.
Can the statue hear?
Give me a perception check. Give me a perception check.
This is actually happening.
I mean, she can barely hear things when she isn't a statue, so... Okay, now I roll decent on perception. The one and only time, 16.
Okay. So as everyone is figuring out how they're going to get you back without the use of the carriage, Mia, you feel weird. You're still petrified. You can't move. You can't speak. But you can see directly in front of you. And you can hear things around you, just albeit muffled. As it almost feels as if the time magic that you had cast previously has somehow messed with this effect.
So suddenly I don't want to be petrified for like hundreds of years. It's just you go insane.
Because you're conscious.
Yeah,
Oh my god. You're technically an object. I can read you.
Technically, yes.
I can learn shit
Because
about
this
you.
is not a curse.
Fair, yeah.
This
Next
is
up, Kamek's gonna start using shape stone on Mia.
and you can.
Oh, no.
For all intents and
Should've.
purposes, Mia is a statue.
Should have given the middle finger before I was petrified.
I can read your historical significance. But no,
I
I'm
can't
moving the
stop
snow
you.
out of the way because I'm short. I'm short right now. I have a job. moving the snow out of the way, going like, nah, too short. No. As I remember you saying it took us like maybe an hour by the carriage to get us here. So I imagine, and it was pretty early. No, it was about midday actually. Now that I think about it, because we did all the business in the morning. So
You
it's
did
about
all the
midday.
business
so we'll
in the
make it
morning.
back. Yeah, so we'll make it back by nightfall, if not earlier.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because the only one who watched the road to, you know, figure out which way they were going was Mia. Everyone else was in the carriage.
We got tracks. We just follow the tracks back.
Does a ghost cart leave tracks?
Does it?
It does not.
Fucking A. All right. Caca. Have my
Caca.
have my crow scout ahead.
Okay.
I know at least what direction to go in, at least, but yeah. At least where to start.
I say we leave her as a garden ornament for at least a day.
Yeah, but then we can, you know, get her fixed in town instead of coming back. Because we have to come back.
No, I mean in town.
Bring back. Oh. We have an establishment now. We could just leave her there. Yeah. Perfect, because then they can come to us. And whoever we find, at least to help fix this problem. So I'm okay with that.
Would I have any knowledge of possible remedies for petrification?
Nothing like home remedies or anything like that. You do remember that there was discussion that the spell Greater Restoration would be needed to remedy this, or a wish.
Oh, damn, wrong character.
Oh no, you had a wish. You just used it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You used it poorly.
Hey, we all agreed it was pretty sound, okay?
I mean, you could have just said, "I wish that Mia was no longer petrified." That would have worked.
I mean, that's what I originally was gonna say, and we're like, nah, it's too simple. He'll find a loophole.
Well, I found
Really,
a
it was
loophole
pretty
with this
straightforward,
one.
guys.
I found a loophole with the way that you said it, and it's gonna be fun.
It's fine. It's fine. We just need to find a higher level cleric.
Mia, while you're standing petrified in the middle of this, in the middle of the snow, staring straight ahead, you hear something clear in your head. Little one, oh little one, what a unfortunate fate to befall you. And no one around to help you. I can help you.
This is in my mind, so I can respond mentally, I
Yes,
assume?
you can.
Okay. And who may you be?
An interested party.
Been getting a lot of those lately.
You are an interesting thing. I like
I try
interesting
not to be.
things.
Do you have a name? You seem to know mine.
I never said your name, I just said little one.
No, but you're addressing me directly, so I can only assume.
I do not know what you call yourself.
Oh, well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Mia, and you are?
Royalty.
Royalty.
Royalty that can see this little catastrophe undone.
You'll have to be a little bit more specific. There's been a lot of catastrophes lately.
I can unstatufy you.
I see.
Turn you
At
back to
what
normal.
cost?
Oh, See, you are the smart one. You ask. I would like some words. Simple words. Simple phrases. Be spoken, of course, out of your mouth and not in between us and your mind. I just simply require 3 truths.
3 truths.
Yes.
About anything in particular, or are they free to be of my choosing?
As long as they are about you. Now, I do reserve the right to reject one of them if you try to get creative and say that your favorite color is blue or anything like that. No, I want the deep truths of you. What makes you and in exchange, you'll be free of this. I am technically your only hope. Your little time magic shenanigans have warped the petrification a little bit.
Well, you see, I believe Kamek made a similar mistake that you just did. I know it resembles time magic quite closely, but really, we weren't frozen in any sort of time. What was happening was we were being shifted through multiple planes simultaneously, which rendered us immobile. It's why we were also immune to several damaging or status-type effects that were trying to be inflicted upon us.
Oh, I know, dear. I saw you. You momentarily passed through my plane of existence. And that got me interested.
I see. Well,
I'll tell you what. I'll give you some time to think about it. And come nightfall, we can have a little chat.
would you be willing to show yourself to me before I make a decision?
When we talk the next, it will be in person.
I will give it some consideration then.
See that you do. Try not to go insane until then. Those punished in my court have a similar fate thrust upon them, and they are fully aware all the time. You would be amazed how fast insanity sets in when you're a lawn ornament.
I can imagine. I don't particularly like being able to see and somewhat hear at the moment. I'd much rather just be out of it.
You leave them in there long enough and you can slowly start to hear their tormented screams escaping from their stone bodies. It's quite entertaining at times.
Doesn't sound very pleasant to me.
You won't have to worry about that. Just don't play me for a fool. Don't lie to me. And, well, we can be very good friends. And it's always good to have royalty.
To an extent, I'm sure. Don't know how things go on your particular plane, whichever plane that may be, but on this one, royalty has a history of throwing others under the wagon in order to keep their royalty.
No, not me. Not me. Just say that I am one of you. That's your power technically comes from me.
Well, isn't that intriguing?
But more once we're able to speak. Until then, I leave you. It'll be interesting to see how they get you back.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't at least somewhat concerned.
Well, then let us watch together. And as they say that, you kind of feel the intrusion from your mind slip away. The three unpetrified folk. Have you come to a decision on how you are going to move Mia back?
I thought we were. It's like, we each got
we were
an
carrying
end,
her.
and
Okay.
and Kemek is earthbending.
Okay. If that is the case, that is perfectly fine.
That's what I'm saying. With this, it might take us by nightfall to get there.
Kemek, since you are the only one who is not preoccupied with carrying a statue wizard, it is going to be on you to give me traveling checks.
I have my crow out helping.
Okay. So as long as it is a perception-based attack check, you can go with advantage.
Do you have a perception-based attack? I'm just saying.
Technically, anything in line of sight that requires it would be a perception-based attack.
Exactly. Okay. So just roll with advantage then.
Yes, if you are going to do that.
It probably would help if I opened up my character just a little bit. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull you over here so I can see with my dice. There we go. Perception. Oh, I'm proficient. All right. Oh, thank God for advantage. 19.
19. Can you give me no, you don't have to give me percentile rolls. So as you're walking through this snow-covered forest, your two companions behind you keeping a stronghold on Mia, for about the first half hour of travel, it's fine. You're sticking to a path, your crow kind of flying overhead, keeping an eye out, directing you on the correct way back towards the tunnel. When you notice, probably about 20 feet ahead of you, this prismatic haze starts rolling in from the trees and spilling out onto the path. The forest ahead of you now looks discolored and almost runny, like paint with too much water. And the haze sits there for about 5-6 minutes. The colors slowly starting to blend together as you are now looking at an autumn vale. The trees bright and lush with life. Not a sign of snow anywhere. You can almost feel a warm breeze coming in from this alien forest.
You guys see this, right? The change in the view.
Do we see this?
You do see this. Whoever has Mia's feet, or whoever's facing back, like the other way as you're carrying Mia, the same thing has happened on the other side, leaving you pretty much completely surrounded with only about a 30-foot section of snow-covered land where you're standing.
Well, that's concerning.
I hate face shit.
I'm like, do I hear any giggling or any
You hear giggling, you hear instruments, you hear the pitter-patter of feet running through the tree lines. At one point in time, you see this very beautiful stag just jump out of the tree line and start jumping down the path. And every time its feet hit the ground, little rainbow like flowers kind of sprout out, little bell chimes come along with it.
Is there a
Damn thing.
blue-skinned pixie Eladrin around here somewhere?
There is no blue-skinned pixie Eladrin around here.
We thought we took care of all the fairies. Clearly, there's more out here. I hate the Fae.
Jericho's just gonna yell out, "What do you want? We don't have time to play."
And almost all around you, in an echo, you hear a woman's voice call out, "Oh, but this is not play. Your statue and I have an appointment."
Like Jericho looks down at the statue and just like looks like she's holding her feet, but she looks at her face and she just goes, "You bloody idiot."
Like Chemic's doing the same thing, looks back at Mia's face, and they're just like, "The hell? Who did you talk to again?"
Now, do not worry. As soon as you cross over into my forest, I promise you no harm nor mischief will befall you. You will be safe.
Yes.
Well, unless you show hostility. But as long as you are all good little guests, you are welcome in my forest.
Unfortunately, the one you have an appointment with is frozen, so if you don't...
Oh
we're just
yes,
gonna keep walking.
I know she is frozen. I spoke to her while she was frozen, and she's agreed to meet me. But before we can meet,
Oh, has she now?
she has. And since
Back at the statue.
and since she currently possesses no means of movement on her own, I would have to assume that her entourage would want to see her safely into the domain.
Chemic slowly puts up their fingers and just touches one of Mia's toes, very tempted to just snap it off right now and just be like, "Stop talking to strangers!" Fine. Don't suppose we are allowed to pass anyway. Hostilities are no until your meeting is done.
That would be correct, yes. But at least you could come out of the cold, be warm, get something to eat, something to drink, enjoy your time before night falls, and as soon as your friend and I have our discussion, you'll be free to go.
Fine. Kicks off shoes and just sits. They're just fuming right now, just glaring at Mia's statue. Just like, talking to later.
How much further do we have to move her before we're in the actual forest?
30 feet.
All right. She's just
Okay,
gonna
fine, I
yell.
walk the rest.
She's just gonna like just call over to my brain. Sorry, to Azure Claw and go, "Let's get this over with." And just starts, moving forward in the direction of the forest.
Okay. So, Emic, the moment you cross that threshold into this lush autumn forest, you feel the magic inside of you just surge with power. Like you have never felt this strong in your life. Any spell slots that you had used have been restored.
Ooh.
Oh, don't do that to Chemic.
And it
Yeah.
almost actually give me an Arcana roll. I want to see
Ooh.
if Kemek can put this together.
My Arcana. There we go. Okay. Not bad. 19.
With the surge of magical energy rushing through your body, you feel as long as you are in this forest, you can continually cast spells without having to burn spell slots.
I don't need to ritually cast for shit. Okay. All right.
And
They're gonna do that thing where they're like glaring, like, I don't trust this. I hate this here, but I will definitely take advantage of this.
those of you who have charges expelled on your magic items, those charges have been replenished.
All of them?
Any charges you spent, yes.
Ooh, that means I get my temporal points back, don't I?
Is it just magic items?
Magic items have their uses replenished, and then if you've expelled any spell slots, they're replenished as well.
I'm only asking because this blade only regains a charge once per year.
Yep.
Hey, look at that.
Neat.
Wait until I can speed up time. Hopefully on objects.
It's like, put this in a bubble
It's been
for
a year.
you.
It's been a year. Hyperbolic time chamber. Here we go.
Now, I need that, and I need that imbued onto a sheath for the sword.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's a higher level spell, so it's gonna be a while, bud. Sorry. Still will be cool.
Special order from Capsicor.
But
That's
yeah,
right, because I think
you are
sorry, bud.
now in this strange, colorful, alien-like forest. Are you just sitting underneath a tree, or are you walking about?
Just gonna plop up like Mia onto like whatever flattish surface there is and just go up under a tree and wait. Yuriko's been in this rodeo before. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Trying to find something that sounds a little like perfect. This will most definitely. So as you are sitting about, boredom doesn't seem to come. Peace of mind doesn't seem to come. Every now and then, something jumps out and kind of tries to startle you and then runs off back into the forest, giggling in glee. Little magical wisps sort of dance by you through the air, slowly taking various shapes of different creatures from your plane of existence. You see like whales and fish and eagles all like flying about with each other in the air. More of those strange elk sort of walk by, but in a collective, instead of these strange plants growing, every step they take begins to grow a new tree. And as the hours pass, you begin to see the sky slowly change to this like dark orange, almost almost reminiscent of a blood moon. And you begin to hear creaks and cracks and breaking of stone near you, as you can see pieces of Mia kind of like falling off of the body. As this continues to happen, Mia, you are now standing there. You can completely move. Your flesh is back to the correct color. You have all feeling, you can breathe, you can speak. Any noise that is around you is no longer muffled.
Check my toes to make sure Kemek hasn't ripped any of them off.
All toes are present and accounted for.
Just gonna say, can you make a dex save, please? No, really, I need you to make a dex save, please.
I can do dex saves. I have good dex. 18?
18.
What'd you do?
It doesn't get smacked hard, but you get a journal smacked into your face as Kevin just like chucked one at you.
And as you chuck that and it makes contact with Mia, the entire forest, plants and ours all start cracking up.
As Kevin just looks at you and it's just like,
What was that for?
guest that you talked to has arrived.
To be fair,
As we're all shaking our heads.
as the voice calls out again, you are instantly all pulled across like a vast span in a blink of an eye, as you're now sitting in this small court. Numerous seats in a full circle on a wooden floor. Above you there are a few palisades as well, with like where higher ranking bodies may sit, but no, there is nobody in attendance today. But there is one entity alone in this room with you. A very tall woman, dressed in a long green robe, gold trim along the arms and along the waist, runic markings of blue on her forehead, her hair just this flaming red. Very friendly smile resting on her face. Well, welcome everyone. Normally,
Your Majesty?
I see that not only have you found freedom, but you have found manners. Good. Those will get you everywhere.
I see you have brought my companions along.
Well, you had your entourage with you, and I couldn't necessarily leave them out because, well, statues can't walk.
Entourage is a strong word.
We
I
carry
prefer
your ass.
to say friends, companions, acquaintances. We have similar goals.
So I'm going to bring up the map just for a second so you all can see what she looks like.
Oh. Yeah, out of character when you said court, I was like, God damn it, not again.
And the
Here
clown
we
music,
go.
the clown music starts playing. I love it. Okay, we don't need the clown music now since I was like, Jesus, we got the circus in here now.
Well, it is the Fae.
That's on Saturdays.
Now, dear, I believe you and I made a deal.
Well,
Well,
I did
you
say
were
I would
thinking.
consider it.
Yes, you were thinking on Oh, don't worry. It doesn't affect any of you. This is between me and your friend. It could affect you as well if you need anything.
And for the record, because I feel the daggers that you're all staring into me at the moment, I never actually agreed to anything. I was just an innocent statue being carried along, and suddenly Her Highness's voice popped into my head. It's not like I could run away.
And she stands up from the little wooden throne that she's sitting on. She comes down to the ground floor to stand about 5 feet away from you. She stands about 9.5 feet tall. Now I see a couple of you are enjoying the bounty of my realm as well. She kind of gives like a very knowing smile to Emic.
I've done nothing though.
Oh, you've done nothing.
I know
No.
it's only temporary.
For now. Those who harness my power tend to be a little more oomph in here. Puts everyone on equal ground in meetings. You can't have a bunch of witches and hags and illustrious spellcasters in one area and not expect somebody to try to get the leg up on one another.
That's certainly true. So, this deal that you had mentioned, my freedom from that affliction in exchange for, it was 3 truths, did you say?
Yes, 3 personal truths. And I said, don't try to drop your favorite color is blue or anything like that. They need to be deep, personal, and intriguing.
Well, I am a little more partial to purple. What value do these truths have to you?
They let me learn about you.
It's precisely what I don't want people doing about me, though.
Now, dear, do you not want your queen to know more about you? Your kind alone pray to me on a daily basis.
I suppose that is fair. Can't rightly deny that. But which of the various creatures and beings that they pray to, which exactly are you?
I am the queen of witches. The fey queen of witches. Nick Naven.
That's a name I haven't heard in several years. Giving me goosebumps over here.
Somebody who was absent from the Fey War of Campaign 2.
But was very much present in Campaign 1.
Yep.
She was the one that gave Cassius the recipe for turning himself into that void dragon monstrosity.
She did.
So, 3 truths, and we're
Deep
square.
Personal
Deep.
truth.
Personal truth.
Something that you necessarily don't like admitting. Something that you hold dear.
Now, these truths, can I perhaps tell you privately?
Oh, no, this is for the entire class, dear.
Oh yes, no, share. Takes out the journal.
See. Well, I don't particularly wish to return to stone, so I suppose, assuming these truths aren't going to come back to, well, bite me in the ass in any way.
Well, I wasn't planning on using them to bite you in the ass, but that one, he points over to Kemek, might.
That's fair. Well,
Now, for the rest of you, you necessarily don't have anything wrong with you. You have no need to play whatsoever, but if you do play, can give you boons, gifts, information. I am a being of magic. The being of magic in most cases. And this land, with their little church and everything, afraid of us so much. This land is booming with magic. Just waiting for some eager little spellcaster to come along and pluck it up. Give it a nice little home.
I respectfully decline.
I assumed you would. You are more steadfast and resolute. Can't fault you for that. It's something I admire. Though some of you do like knowledge.
Narrows eyes. I'll just watch for now, thanks.
Of course. Feel free to jump in at any time if you wish to play.
Will do.
Now, seeing as how I don't completely know you, kind of raises a hand as a huge runic circle appears on the circular courtroom floor. Let's make sure that these are really true.
Well, I suppose if you had any doubts about anything that any of us say, you could just ask my good friend Kemek here. It seems if you lie in their presence, it becomes quite painful.
Ah. She kind of looks over at Kemek. Yes, she does have one of those eyes. Well, this circle acts the same, but a lot worse. I've seen people explode for lying to me.
It's concerning, but also somewhat impressive.
One should be warned before they consider lying to their queen.
So there's wisdom in that.
Oh, there is wisdom in everything, I say. Now, let's get to it.
Right.
Truth the first. Let's say fears.
Fears.
Yes. Your deepest, darkest fear.
I am afraid of giving in to the temptations of the church. Given my heritage, I think they have a lot to offer me, should they find out what I am, and I'm afraid that power such as that would be too alluring to turn down.
Oh, they would definitely treat you like, no pun intended, royalty. You are definitely what he is.
The allure of not just that power, but the access to knowledge that would bring would be very, very difficult to turn that down.
But at the same time, safer.
Yes. But I have never really been one to opt for safety over obtaining knowledge, as my companions can attest.
She
So that...
she smiles and she kind of holds her hand out, and you see this soft green light kind of like escape out of her chest and lower into a locket in the palm of her hand. Kind of puts that away in a bag, and she pulls out another one. Truth the Second. What should we ask? But there's so many tasty bits of information in there that anyone would want. Dreams.
Dreams.
Hopes. Dreams for the future. Something you've never would tell anyone.
Well, I suppose this this particular one might kind of go hand in hand with the boons that you offer to, well, as you said, my kind. I hope that one day my magic will be so powerful that nobody in this world can resist its effects.
She gets a very almost menacing grin on her face when you say this, as this like violet light is pulled out of your chest and it sinks down into the amulet. And she pockets it away and she pulls out another one. My personal favorites. Love or admiration? There's got to be somebody fancy. Not everyone just wants power.
If we're talking lust, I can name a couple.
Oh, lust works just as well. What gets that heart pitter-pattering?
I have had certain thoughts about a couple of new companions of mine. Not necessarily individually, more as the three of us together.
Oh, building a harem, are we?
I wouldn't go that far. More of just an indulgence.
I see. Do these two lucky individuals have names?
They do. Etrin and Chandra.
And as you say their names, two lights, these vibrant red lights, are pulled out and they go into the amulet. Puts it away and she's like, and that makes three. And she walks over and she takes her hands and just like places them on the side of her head, of your head, and her hands pretty much like just completely wrap around your head. And she leans in, she just kisses you softly on the forehead. And she just backs away. And with that, you are free of that statue predicament.
Thank you for your generosity, Your Highness, even if it did put me in a slightly awkward position in front of my companions.
Yes, that's the point. But, and then she holds the 3 amulets up. These truths are now tests.
Tests?
Yes. I want you to conquer these truths. And when you do so, I will grant you any wish that your heart desires.
That is, a significant offering. Now, when you say conquer them, do you mean, like, resist them, or indulge in them, or make them reality, make sure they don't become reality?
And she kind of just opens her hand and lets them float towards you. Let's call it dealer's choice.
Open to interpretation, then.
As all great things should be.
More wisdom.
Kiriko's just sitting down, like, under a tree, sipping on some tea and looking at this scenario, shaking her head, thinking just stupid, stupid, stupid. She's not saying it, she's thinking it really hard.
And as you're thinking stupid, 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 it's echoing out through the forest. And then you start hearing the trees whisper stupid, stupid, stupid.
You know what the Fae aren't?
And she smiles over to Yuriko. I know. Some of our people have given us a bad rap, but I am not one to just pick on mortals and make their lives hell. That's boring. I like seeing them flourish, grow as individuals, especially when they come from a bloodline that has worshipped me for generations. We're not all tricksters and baby stealers. There are some of us who just like interaction.
You may not all be baby stealers, but to say you're not all tricksters is a bold-faced lie.
Oh, there are no tricks in my words. I value truth above everything.
But to say you're not a trickster.
I do not trick anyone. Unlike most Fae, my rules are not open for anyone's interpretation. They are flat out. I will never try to one-up somebody through gaming of the rules. If I promise one thing, I will stick to it. There is no downside to what I have given your friend. More of incentive to realize and grow. Something that I can do for you and something I can do for your goblin friend. I'm sorry, Mr. Birdman, you don't necessarily seem to have any sort of arcane essence flowing through your form.
He is all right. Do not need.
Indeed, many a wizard need a great warrior with them. So, is there anything that the two of you wish assistance on?
The things things that I wish for assistance on, of course. Are there things that I'm willing to risk dealing with you? No.
Fair.
I'm already in cooperative measures with a higher being.
Yes, I see the cold little mark on you. Don't worry, she's good people. A little blunt at times, but you could do worse. Don't let her know I said that.
I don't know whenever she's listening, so I can't promise. She's very fickle.
She has issues, but we all do. And what of you, little goblin?
Oh, I have many things that I need help with. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
That I do not doubt, but I offer a speedier resolution.
Just takes away half the fun.
You do seem to be one of high work ethic.
Keeps me sane. And I enjoy it. Appreciate it, but I will be declining your offer.
And again, I cannot fault you. But this is a one-time deal. This is not something you can call on me again for.
Understandable.
Very well. Now, where was it you were all going as you were carrying your friend through the snow-covered forest?
Hampstead.
Ah,
Look up the name.
little, Baga's domain. I can get you there.
Which reminds me, Mia,
Yes.
the pumpkin, please.
Pardon?
You
I've got
were...
it safely tucked away.
Oh, yes. It did us a lot of good when you were petrified.
I understand that it may have been inaccessible at that time, but we were all hit by that same effect. I just happened to not be able to resist it at the time. It was purely chance.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't get hit by anything.
Well, the rest of you were able to resist it.
You also like to go near crystals and touch them. They could explode. There goes your hand, half your body possibly.
I have not
pumpkin.
touched a crystal since we were in
Last
that
touch a
cave.
crystal.
About 4 days ago.
If anything, you were the last one of... Well, no, that's not true.
Mm-mm.
But you do have that unusually large one on your person, and that seems quite dangerous, Ken.
Oh, no, it certainly is. I have some fun ideas on how to dispose of this when it's time.
So you're just as bad as I am.
No, because I still didn't touch it.
But you're carrying it around. What if somebody discovers what that bag is? They hit it with a dispel or something, or an anti-magic field. Suddenly that crystal's ejected and we're all dust.
Well, it's a good thing I have a backup plan just in case.
The counterspell
Let's just
is
say
quite handy.
don't go too far. Time magic's fun. Protective bubbles are fun too.
They
You should
can
get
be.
yourself a bubble.
Who says I don't have one?
Next time, use it before you get petrified.
I used something else that delayed the petrification. Fortunately, it seemed to get the attention of Her Majesty here, but that turned out well, so...
Sure. But I keep the pumpkin for now, but if it happens again, you're giving us the pumpkin.
If you're all
How
quite
about-
finished,
A while ago.
you kind of just like she waves her hand for a moment, and a doorway appears in the center of the room, almost identical to the front doors of your manor. When you're ready, just walk through there and you'll be home.
Perfect.
Thank you again for your generosity, Your Majesty.
Oh, don't worry about it. I look forward to see what you're going to do with those amulets.
As do I.
You-
And
You would be surprised how many people chicken out when they try to face the truth.
well, it can be a very difficult thing to face sometimes. But I think we're all in need of a good well, maybe not all of you. I'm in need of a good rest.
I'm in
So
need of a good stiff drink, and she walks towards the door. Thank you.
I will follow behind.
If you want that amulet to be all prettied up, I'm sure you can ask Azure Claw. Before Kemek walks through.
Is Azure Claw going through the door?
Mhm.
Okay. So as all of you pass through the door, there's a bit of a darkening effect around your eyes, kind of like after you come in from a bright day and your eyes have to adjust back to the lighting of a room. But as you do, you walk in and there is Etrin and Mr. Blue and Lisa in the room, like right in the front foyer. They kind of have like a very panicked look on their faces. The three of you walk in, and Lisa kind of turns around and storms over to the three of you. Like, you can't really tell if it's anger or relief, but her eyes are just wide. Where have the four of you been? You went out for a mission and you're back a month later?
I'm sorry?
Well, good, our factory's done. Is everything else in place then?
Did you hold on? Did you say a month?
And then Yuriko just sits down and she just starts pouring herself like hot sake out of her thermos, and she just like, fucking Faye. And she's just like,
Yes, a month. To this day, exactly 1 month.
Kemek is not phased by this information at all. She's like, oh, shorter than I expected.
We have been ready to go 3 weeks now. But my team is nowhere to be found. We thought you dead. And now you just come strolling in the front door. As if nothing happened.
well, technically for us, nothing did happen.
Well, I was petrified, but not for a month.
It's funny when the Fae like to fuck you in time.
Oh, you were fucking with Faye.
No.
No.
Fucking with us.
No.
Ah,
Except this one. Points
I
to
thought
me.
it was a nice conversation.
Either way, Fae against our will, so
I'm gonna leave it
as
at
much as
that
that
because
pisses
we are way behind our timetable now. Pack what you need. Get ready to leave in the morning.
I would like to see if what has been finished here, because there are some additional items I may require by the morning.
Oliver kind of chips in from behind. He's like, oh, everything is present and accounted for, miss. I'm sorry, Kemek.
Perfect.
I don't know your names anymore. I'm sorry. It's been a while. I'm very forgetful of who any of you are.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to this guy for like one day and then we just left
That's
for a month.
true. That's true. Those stones, those lovely little stones that we all need individually to teleport here.
Oh, yes. Kind of pats his body, and you hear a clanking on his hip, and he pulls out these small, they almost look to be like polished onyx with various runes carved into them. This right here is a personal teleportation rune. Just hold it in your hand, think of home, and it will take you here. Make sure your mind is clear, because I was told that if you're thinking of anything else, or you're confused or befuddled or anything like that, it could get messy. Like, I'm going to have to clean the room for a month with a mop. Messy. So please, clear minds. I don't really want any of my new employers to be just stains on the wall.
Look at that.
Bring
True
back
circles that
things with
explode in
you.
this.
Well, anything you're carrying, yes, but people know. No, these are personal stones. They will only take you.
That would have been helpful.
And as a reminder to everyone else, it will work. They'll work, but only for this circle. Until I can study a little harder.
Yes. I made sure to ask the mages who created these to make them a little bit stronger so you can imbue them to other circles if you find any.
How many?
Right now, there is a limit of 3. Well, 2 more, because it's already attuned to this one.
Oh.
By the way, these teleportation stones do require attunement.
I'm okay with this until I can learn the spells.
I have to also tell you, one person at a time. Throw more than one person, there's a chance that, again, room mop, weeks worth of cleaning. So make sure that you give people enough time to, well, clear the landing bay. You'll know if somebody is currently in use of it, as the stone will get a little bit warm.
Now, using these stones, is it sort of like an instant thing, or does it take a minute or so for it to...
I was just told you hold the stone, you focus on home, and then you're here. Not entirely sure exactly how one actually goes about it. I'm quite terrified of the whole process of zipping from one end of the world to another instantaneously.
It can be quite alarming.
Called me old-fashioned. I prefer traveling by train.
Well, that can be quite alarming sometimes too.
Yes.
Especially if the train goes on its side. Or explodes.
Or both. Well, thank you for your hard work while we were away for so long, apparently.
No, of course. I'm just happy I'm not out of a job. Selling this house previously was a nightmare, as you know. But you know, at least you're all here, safe and sound. And say, well, if you'll need me, I'll be making my rounds. Lunch will be up in a few minutes.
So it's
Of course.
midday. And Yuriko just she's not directing at anyone in particular. She just goes, nothing I need to get done is going to get done. Fuck. And she just walks out the front door.
And Lisa and Blue begin to walk out. She's like, I mean it. Meet us down in you know where. first thing in the morning.
Well, I have to sleep here, but I need to clear my head. I'm a little angry.
You're a little angry. You just didn't have your main team go AWOL for a month because they decided that they needed to play with the Fae. He kind of like stares directly at Mia. Why is it always you? I've heard stories about what you've done. I thought Esme was joking with you touching things and frustrating everyone else, but it seems that you're the problem child.
Nothing exploded this time.
I wouldn't say problem child. I just have a very physical approach to education.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
You are so much like the church. Hands on everything before even researching it. Do you know how many inquisitors we've lost because the first thing that runs through their mind is touch the shiny thing that we've found deep in a cave?
I don't just touch anything that we find. I am selective about which mysterious artifacts that saying it out loud. I understand.
Yes, well, do what you need to do today, whatever rest of the day that you have, and meet us down in our location first thing in the morning. Timetables have been all screwed up, and well, the plan is all screwed up. No, not entirely your fault, but this does not help.
If it's any consolation, I mean, it wasn't just any Fae.
It's not. The less I know, the better.
That's probably fair.
Let's be off before my head explodes. Blue just gives a laugh, looking back at you and shaking his head as the two of them leave.
Yuriko's gonna try and find Drac.
Okay. So you're heading back to the guard barracks.
That's the only place she knows where it can at least be pointed out.
Okay. And Yuriko, as you leave, you bump into Drac in the middle of town. Oh, you're not dead. I guess that's good.
Yeah. Weird things happened.
Yeah, we headed out to the farmhouse after you didn't report back, and we found the pigs. Pig people.
Yeah.
I was worried that might have been you.
No. Prismatic dragon, breath weapon. We barely made it. The pigs didn't stand a hope in hell.
Oh. Well, I lost that pet. Sorry, we had a pool as to what exactly caused the death and destruction over there. I didn't have prismatic dragon. I had rampaging yetis.
I would have preferred rampaging yetis.
But you're alive. I mean, I guess that's a good thing.
Yes, I have a very serious question.
Good. I don't like non-serious questions.
How skilled is your artificer?
Well, I'm up there. I'm technically a third-year artificer, but I trained under the best. Or at least that's what everybody says about him.
I don't think there's gonna be enough time. And she just whips out her like giant boomerang and just drops it down in front of her. And she goes, I need a way for this to come back to me when it hits something. It does quite well on its own if I miss.
You could see the wheels turning in his head as you say that, like he gets really confused, and he was about to say, you can tell that he was about to say, well, isn't that the purpose of a boomerang? But as you clarify, he's like, gotcha. So you just need a simple returning imbuement on this.
If it's something that can be done in a day, yes.
Yeah, it can be done in an hour. That's simple. That's just just infusing it with a returning enchantment. Shouldn't be too long. Don't necessarily require anything from a forge or anything like that. That's just pulls out like these, like a hammer and a file. He's like, just my tools.
Are you on duty or are you off duty?
No, thankfully I day off.
Well, you let me know what I need to get or do, or
give me the boomerang. Like, you got a place here?
Yes, the previously abandoned.
Oh,
shop.
right. The little lizard guy owns that now.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Well, you mind if I go there to work on this?
Well, we have a workshop. I just don't know what state it's in. It's supposed to be completed.
All I need is a table. I don't need anything special. Everything that I need is on me.
Okay. Follow me. And head back over to the house. And what was the butler's guy's name again?
Oliver, or Ollivander, whatever you wish to call him.
Ollie, where's the workshop?
Well, right where you left it. He gets a very like confused look on his face. It doesn't move.
We haven't been here in a month.
Just down the back hallway in the first floor. You can't miss it. There's a giant sign that says workshop.
Right, let's go see about what state this workshop is in.
Okay. And Drac follows you as you go towards the back of the house. Just a very clearly marked workshop. And in there it is, you can tell it hasn't been touched yet because all the tools are in their pristine locations. There's no dust, or there's like no sawdust. There's like no bits and remnants of wood anywhere. It's just perfect.
Looks like you had the pleasure of being the first one to use this room.
Can't say that you done poorly. This is a nice place. Nope. Like I said, give me an hour. I'll make sure your boomerang comes back to you no matter what.
I'll stay out of your way then.
You see that he just takes your boomerang and just places it on a large table and starts just like randomly punching various parts on it with the chisel in his hammer.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it is not a pretty sight. To the untrained eye, it looks like he's just chipping off random pieces of wood from it.
Oh well, no. In my head, I have a backstory for the boomerang. It's bone.
Oh yeah, so like bones just flying everywhere.
Yeah, so she's just like, oh, he's gonna break it, and I'll never get one like it again. And she's like, nope, stay positive, stay positive.
Stay positive.
She just leaves the room, and she's just like, I don't understand his art, so just, and she just walks out. And
okay.
She's like, he's the expert. I'm gonna have faith that he's not gonna break her boomerang.
It'd be kind of fucked up if I make him roll for that.
You can roll for it.
Nah, I'm not.
I mean,
there's no failure table for artificers, thankfully. Wild magic artificer, that needs to be.
Oh dear God, that'd be terrifying.
Well, it has returning, but for some reason, every time it hits something, it summons a donkey.
No, I want exploding cows. Exploding cows on crits.
On crits. All right, so with the half day that everyone has, is there anything you're preparing for? Is there anything that you're attempting to make? Or are you just relaxing and getting ready for the next day?
I'm gonna track down Ollie, talk to him real quick, and then talk to Etrin real quick right after. But beyond that, I am just spending as much time as I can studying that manual that I was given with those crystals for turning that one into a spell focus.
Yes, okay. So you find Ollie kind of wandering the halls, just readjusting some of the artwork, making sure everything looks perfectly in its place.
Ollie, I never actually inquired about this before, but are you the one that does like the cooking and stuff around here as well?
No, not me. Not me. The kitchen cooks.
Like the kitchen itself?
Yes, the kitchen itself. Unless somebody wishes to use the kitchen to cook something, the kitchen normally prepares the meals.
Interesting. How do we make requests?
You walk in the kitchen and say what you want.
I see. All right, well, I'll go give that a try then. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wander into the kitchen and just watch it for a while because that's fun.
Yeah, and the kitchen, when you walk in, looks perfectly normal. It just looks like a quiet, empty kitchen.
Excuse me, kitchen.
And
I have a request.
as you say that, you see some of like the cupboards and tools begin to vibrate a little, almost in response.
How interesting. I would like to request that after our dinner later tonight, whatever that may be, that you prepare us a nice spiced cake for dessert.
And you see two of the pans kind of come up and bang together in like affirmation.
Thank you. I'll kind of meander away from the curious kitchen. Track down Etrin.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long. As you wander the house and you don't find him or Chantra anywhere. But you wander onto the outside grounds into back of like the training circle that was made per Azure Claw and Nalani's request. And you see Etrin with a wooden sword sparring with Chantra. And she's got two of her daggers, and while she has live blades and she's going at him and swinging wildly, she's not landing any hits. He's kind of like sidestepping and just smacking her on the butt with the sword, and like just like barking orders at her.
I will stand there and watch until they either notice me or finish up.
Okay.
Then I'll wander over.
And it goes on for probably about another 5 minutes before Etrin notices you, and he kind of puts the wooden sword point down in the dirt, and he sort of leans on it and waves to you. As like his back is completely to Chantra, and she thinks that she has him, and she goes fully charging as he just turns around and just kicks her like dead in the stomach, and she kind of like doubles over.
Yeah.
This one isn't quiet.
Well, she's still learning, I suppose.
She has a long way to go before she is ready for the world. Chantra's like,
She has a good teacher. A patient teacher. Also, I'd like to apologize. We were apparently gone for quite a while, and that was not our intention.
I just assumed that you ran into something that required your attention.
We did.
Couldn't get back. I wasn't panicking that any of you were dead. I received no notification from it, so I just felt, well, something got your attention.
That it did. And it seems we are moving out tomorrow morning.
Yes, Inquisitor Breton has been by daily looking for you. Have you talked to her yet?
Yes, she happened to be in the foyer when we arrived.
Thank the gods, maybe I won't have to, hear her yelling at me first thing in the morning anymore.
No, instead that's on us now. We'll be hearing her yelling at us first thing in the morning.
I don't mean to sound rude, but in this instance, better the you than me. I am getting way too many flashbacks of Kamiroska from that.
Sounds unpleasant. And kind of on that note of, you and where you're from and your whole, affliction, are you wanting to stay here while we go out on this mission? I am still not really comfortable with you being put in a position where, you could explode. And we're probably going to be encountering a lot of magic in our near future.
Well, I have no problem staying here. I've grown quite accustomed to the town. Nice people here. And and I can continue focusing on Chantra's training. That way, if at any point in time you or your friends need either of us, she will be able to hold her own and not be a complete hindrance.
Well, it would bring me some comfort to know that the two of you are here. Not just to know that you're safe, but also to know that you're here to take care of anything that may or may not crop up in this town. I'm sure it's not free of troubles.
Chantra, you can see Chantra has finally gotten herself back to her feet. She's still a little double overed. She leans onto Etrin. No, there's no trouble here. People are boring.
Well, I'm sure you, of all people, can find trouble, much like you did in this particular house before we took care of it.
Mia. No, I'm. It just hurts. I'm not complaining. There are plenty of things to do around here to keep me occupied. As long as this jerk stops kicking me in the damn stomach.
Well, I'm sure he'll stop once you start avoiding it.
Yeah, Etrin just smirks. He's like, don't leave yourself open.
He knows what he's doing. But I'm glad that the two of you are okay and that you're going to be staying here while we're away. Like I said, that it's going to make me more comfortable knowing that.
Yes, it's given me some time to finally take effort into what I set out to do. Learning how to interact with people. Helping where I can. Being more of a decent person.
Well, you are a valuable asset, and I know that value will just grow for the both of you. There is one other thing that I wanted to ask about, and I know this is a long shot and perhaps a bit of an odd question, but I have to ask. You were a dragon thing for quite a while.
Just a dragon, not a thing.
Well, normally dragons don't have, their flesh falling off and their brains exposed. That's kind of where the whole thing definition definition comes in. I don't suppose any of that dragon is left in you?
Not in a physical sense. I haven't felt the need, well, not the need, but the, haven't felt like I was going to transform at any point in time. Though, every now and then, I feel a bit of a surge in draconic magic. Nothing on my body is seemingly reacting to it, but I just assumed that I'm still getting over the effects of, well, being ensorcelled for so long.
That is certainly interesting. If you find yourself leaning more in that direction, let's say, do let me know. I think perhaps you could be of great use to me if that were the case.
Use how?
I'll just be blunt with you, I suppose. It's the only way to do this. I can't tiptoe around this anymore. I need the tooth of a dragon and the eye of a dragon willingly given.
Oh. Well, right now I'm an elf, and I think if I gave you my eye and my tooth, it would be nothing but painful and useless.
Agreed. I'm not asking for your tooth or your eye. I'm just saying, if the day should come where you're feeling a little more draconic than elvish, we should talk.
If there's a day that comes that I'm feeling more draconic than elvish, I fear for the property value of this home. You saw the size of the dragon that I was.
You were very large.
This house would not be able to accommodate that.
Well, if you feel it coming on, perhaps just run out into the courtyard.
Yes, and hope the town guard doesn't skewer me.
That as well.
I will keep you informed if that is ever to happen, but I have a very strong doubt that I will ever revert back to what I was originally.
Figured it was a long shot, but I just wanted to put it out there just in case. I may find a dragon tomorrow that is happy to give me its eyeball. You never know. I just wanted to put the thought out there, that's all.
Every dragon we come across, pardon me, may I trouble you for an eye and tooth?
I will leave you to your training. I have some reading to do.
And he nods and he begins to walk away and just like kicks Chantra away in the butt so she's a good distance away from him. Okay, Chantra, this time try to have some form instead of just flailing about. You're not going to hit anything like that. And as you're walking back up, you hear like the struggled grunts and groans of Chantra just having her butt handed to her.
Do not envy the martial classes.
What of Azure Claw and Kemet?
Ooh, if there's sparring going on, I must participate. Training!
Oh, perfect. So as Mia is walking back up, Azure Claw is walking down, and you see the scene of the sad excuse of sparring that's going on between Chantra and Etrin. Azure Claw. Perfect. Would you mind helping out?
Yes.
I'm trying to train this little one here in the means of basic martial combat. Maybe she would do better with another opponent.
Or proper demonstration.
That may actually be better. Do you have any blunted weaponry, or do you prefer live?
Is there a assortment of wooden weapons?
There is an assortment of various wooden weapons, like neatly set up in racks along like the wall of the training pit.
Lovely. Going to grab something large and two-handed.
All right. So before we get into this training montage, let's go ahead and take a quick break because I just realized that it's almost 10 o'clock and we haven't taken a break yet. So let's go ahead, take a quick 5-minute break, get up, get something to drink, and we will be right back.
crumble under all of my force will fall. Let's make them crawl. And when we finally meet the king, there will be no ghost for him. We shall end it all. fight, you will be our silent eye. Well, come seek us out. We will be there to give them reckoning. Oh, you shall wait at the city gates. You shall guide their way. You shall hear their coming steps. Feel our madness. For every soul they took away, we arm and take our aim. Bring down the fire like Is there reason in this life we call our own? So many misguided visions and trusting deceit, yeah. And in our shallow pursuit of truth, we lost ourselves.
Alrighty, we are back.
Hero.
All right.
Do we have a halfling ghost in the kitchen? Is that what we have?
You don't know what you have in the kitchen.
I don't know. We have Ollivander. Why not just throw in Moaning Myrtle? To cook for you.
I like
You're weeping in
to
the soup.
imagine that it's just like a whole horde of little ghost possums that are making all our food.
Why not?
That's
It's
cute.
a halfling version of Gordon Ramsay.
That's actually really cute.
That's cute, but no.
It's like Ratatouille, but possums.
Can I walk down the dark road real fast? Like I am 100% sure Moaning Myrtle sexually assaulted Harry, and Harry just blocked it out. And
Ugh.
hasn't-
100%.
Dude, there was that whole like bubble scene in
Yeah,
the tub.
I'm-
All
I'm
right,
just
let's get away from this.
Does not consent. Ah.
Let's not get into creepy fan theories of Harry Potter. There are way too many of them. Anyway, so Etrin and Azure Claw are going to give a proper demonstration on how to actually fight and not whimsically flail about with two daggers in your hand. So is this just going to be a friendly spar?
Absolutely.
Or are you looking to put him on his butt.
Nope. This is going to be lessons, and that is it.
Okay. So can you give me 3 rolls using athletics at advantage? Seeing as how this is something that you do on a normal basis.
Starting to become that. Oh, athletics. Okay. First one is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Second one's a 23.
Very nice.
And second one is a nat 20.
Okay. Can you roll me percentiles and add 15?
Well, you percentiles and add like 50, so you can't guarantee it's going to be a good roll. Where are all my d10s?
It's always concerning when it's the D10 you can't find.
There's 2 of them.
It's painful
Technically.
when it's the D4.
No, the
Mm.
problem there is there's 4 sets of dice in this tray.
Oh,
And
you
none
don't
of them are
organize
10s.
Yeah, they're purple and black. All of them. There's a set for Azurclaw. And add 15.
Add 15.
Okay, so 46.
46. Okay. So due to the successful training regiment that you put on, you have 2 charges of inspiration that you can use during attacks.
Me?
Yes. For attacks only. And that's a boon that's given onto you for using your training circle.
Nice.
Very nice.
I did say that using stuff in your homestead would be a little better than using something out on the road. And definitely you and Etrin training, 2 seasoned warriors, training with one another, improving their skills, it's definitely going to give you a boon. But you're in there for a couple hours, just you and him going back and forth, trading blows. Chantra sitting up in like the little stands, taking notes, watching both of you intently. Emic, what is the all-seeing time wizard doing?
Frustrated that the time spells can't progress yet. So in the meantime, they are going to be going through their notes from the previous, technically, day by them. And they are going to be in the mage's lab right now,
Okay.
doing the studying. And is gonna find a nice big spot on the floor and take out the skull and take out the jar with tongue in it.
Okay. The silver tongue?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're taking out the goblin skull, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And Kemik is gonna place the tongue after taking it out of the jar, place it in the goblin's mouth.
Okay. And much like, have you put the, I forget, have you put the skull in, the tongue inside the goblin skull yet? Or was it a different mouth?
No, the tongue was whispering things. Kamek could only understand bits and pieces, but then after learning of the recent notes of the tongue of Dwala never lies and what they may have recently discovered about the skull that they have, they're putting 2 and 2 together, and this is their first time doing it.
Okay. So before I get to that, there's something I want to show off. Cass's mom made this for me for Christmas. She made this dragon egg.
Oh, that's cool.
This
What's
is
it made out of?
This is handmade. I believe these are push pins that she has pushed in, like formed into an egg, and then she painted them.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That looks like an actual like scale.
Yeah,
Or
they're layered, so it looks like dragon scale.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like her mom is like one of those like super like handicraft people.
You're just playing with it like a
Yeah.
stress ball without the
Yeah,
squeezy.
no, this is definitely what this is, because I'll rotate this in my hand and whatnot while I'm working or whatever. But as you place the tongue inside the skull, you see flesh and tendons begin to form in the mouth, connecting the tongue to the lower of the jaw, and then it's spreading out inside the mouth itself, giving it a fully fleshed mouth and just this skull as it slowly hovers up a bit off the ground, this soft silver light piercing through the eye sockets, and it just hovers there staring at you.
Kamek, of course, having that big, wide, toothy grin, just leans in a bit and goes, "Speak. What is your name?"
I am known by many names. The Pathwalker, the Endbringer, the Traveler. Though those on this plane know me as Travala.
Just out of curiosity, does my eye do anything?
Your eye
I
has
see
no
anything?
effect on this thing, as it's technically dead. Although you don't really put that together, as you were informed the tongue does not lie.
Sure. I was just curious if there is any kind of magical reaction as this is happening more than anything else.
Why have you awakened me?
I wish to put you back together and bring you back to your full form.
I see. And how do you plan on going about this?
It was very long and hard, as there's rarely any texts or history evidence of your existence long ago. But I have found a map. It requires a cipher to find the rest of your pieces, and I intend to find it.
Cipher.
Hmm.
Yes, it seems that would be the cases. Those who scattered my bones previously were meticulous in secret keeping. Kind of.
Texts do not say who scattered you, only that you are scattered.
Indeed. Let's leave it at that. The less you know about them, the better. Kind of
Okay with that for now.
hovers about another 5 feet off the ground and begins to scan the room. This is not of goblin make. Do our people not
No.
rule?
No. In fact, goblins are not what they once were. They're back to their previous savage forms.
Oh, I have been away for far too long, it seems. And what of you? The skull like zooms down, just like gets right in front of your face. Who are you?
I am Kemek. I am but one of the very few rare goblins that uses their intellect instead of savagery. Barbaric is just so thousands of years ago. They refuse to progress and make themselves better. Making themselves better is more of having better materials to make pathetic weapons. We have regressed, not progressed.
And it is on you to fix that, Kemek. As my arbiter.
Yes. Though I don't do it for them. Not the goblins now, but the future.
Of this we can agree. Your cipher. I have located it.
Where may I find it?
Deep in a church catacombs. In a city recently enlightened in the true ways of its church. A great catastrophe were to befall upon it, but see a god intervened.
Since this was kind of a, I wouldn't say a big event, but a somewhat close by event, would I have known what this was?
You wouldn't know about the catastrophe being technically reversed, as that information was not shared. So
Okay.
you do know that there was a city that was doomed for a purge,
Mm-hmm.
but due to the actions of a priest and a few convicts at the time, they were able to stop said catastrophe from happening and saving the town. The priest himself is now the high priest of that city.
Kemek will kind of recall this information. I remember hearing about this, but I don't recall the name of the place. I can look it for though.
I do not see the name. The land has changed drastically since I last walked upon it.
Indeed.
But you will find your cipher there.
The name will not be too hard to find. But this is a great start. And if you don't mind me asking, I travel with companions that some are wary of these type of events. And I was wondering how it would be easiest for me to bring you along travel. I don't know if I simply just rip the tongue back out and use it when it need be, or something else entirely.
I cannot remain in this form for long. It is taxing at times. I will give up the tongue once again, knowing that I now have an ally looking to return me to this world. Know, Kemek, that once I return, our peoples will be enlightened. And
That is
those
my hope.
unlike us will fall beneath our feet, as we will take up our place as the true rulers of this land.
It will take time, but that has been my goal for years.
Time is something I have vast amounts of.
Until next time, and when I have more information, I will focus on the cipher. I do not want to stress you every time you use this form. Only when necessary.
Agreed. And as he says that, the skull falls to the ground and the tongue just pops out of the mouth.
Kemek will put the tongue back in the jar of goo and take the skull and just kind of admire it for a moment. Kind of like dusting it off and putting it back in their pack.
The skull of the progenitor of her people. By the way, I'm carrying God's skull in my backpack.
Instead of I've got a jar of dirt, it's like, I've got God's skull. I've got God's skull. I've got a jar of his tongue. Yeah, so at this point, if there's still time in the day, yeah, they would have done this pretty early on. It's just gonna kind of run a couple errands, just kind of going around trying to find the name of that town.
Okay,
Before residing back home and reading.
go ahead and give me a investigation check with advantage, as it is a known city.
God, these advantages. What are these like really high then really low rolls? This is scary. 25.
25. Gloom's Bend is the name of the city.
Looms Bend. Okay. Obviously out of character, I knew that, but yeah, they're gonna go ahead and make note of that, and find a chart and see how far away it is compared to them, which
Thankfully, you
I'm sure
have
finding a map's not too hard.
you have a handy dandy map room in the in the manor, and Gloom's Bend is quite literally a train ride away.
Yep. They just make note of it and makes note that after when this mission's done to kindly suggest to go that way. But until then, they have a job to do. So they're going to spend the rest of the night probably working on their language book. Because they haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Right, I was learning a language.
So pretty much doing that after dinner.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, before bed.
So after an hour, Yuriko, you return back to the workshop. Brack is sitting there with a very pleased smile on his face. Should work. As he hands you the boomerang, you don't see any chips or dings or any markings on it whatsoever.
I was expecting it to look more, I don't know,
Dinged.
the whirly geared.
Oh no, this is just a simple infusion. This isn't any sort of creation of mine or an invention. This is simply imbuing magic into the item itself. But all you gotta do Give it a throw and it should come back to you.
How big is this workshop?
Not big enough to throw the boomerang. You're gonna have to go outside to give it a whirl.
There's a gym, right?
There is like a training ground, yes.
So she's gonna go there.
All right.
See it in action.
He walks out back with you, and there are a few striking dummies set up.
And she's gonna just give it like, she's gonna hurl it like she's trying to break something's face.
Okay. And you hurl this thing and it strikes the dummy, and you could see it like pops off and begins to like rotate in the air like it would normally do, but then something like grabs hold of it and it shifts direction and flies right back to your hand.
Oh, and she just she's very pleased. No wasted movements. What do I owe you?
Oh, nothing. That was an hour's worth of work. Didn't require anything from me.
Well, thank you. I feel I should at least buy you a drink.
Trying to lay off the alcohol at the moment. I've seen some things that only seem to come back to me when I am hammered.
Ew.
Yeah, not fun. I do like drink, but I don't like seeing that again.
I don't blame you. Well, I do owe you, regardless of what you say.
If I think of anything you can do for me, I'll let you know.
Agreed. And she's like, well, I need to do something now with this that I don't know if it's going to work, but apparently it's in my head and screaming that it needs to be done.
Do the thing. I take it you're going to make the boomerang your packed weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She hasn't done it yet. She's just
Something that you can most definitely do, since you did take Pact of the Blade.
No, Pact of the Rang.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Pact of the Ring. Pact of the Throwing Stick.
Yeah, so she's just gonna go to her room and like she's just going to do what the magic tells her to do. She has no idea what she's actually doing. It's just instinctual.
Pact magic for dummies. Okay. And you definitely do spend that time just following the voices in your head on how to make this boomerang your packed weapon.
Cool. She's gonna do that until dinner.
Okay. So dinner does come along, and Lathander informs everyone that dinner will be served shortly to please come down and take your seats.
I'm probably already there, still reading away at my manual.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
So close to that nat 20. So close, but not quite. That'll be a dirty 20 instead.
Dirty 20. How long have you spent reading this? Was this like immediately after talking with Etrin?
Yeah, because I was warned to give it a very thorough read before even considering touching anything. So I'm gonna read this thing front to back several times before I touch anything.
Okay. So doing that, let's go ahead and make it a clock. let's say an even 30. And since you did make this intelligence check, I'll let you do 2d6 this time.
Okay. 4 and 4.
All right, so that's a total of 4 successes.
I'll take it.
Or 4 ticks, I should say. Hey, Kemek.
Tuck it away before everyone else shows up.
All right.
Yeah.
Kemek, did you go out and about in town as well?
I did for a little bit, yeah, to find the name
Yeah. And
of the town. Yeah.
were you using the teleportation stone every time to come back?
Maybe.
I
Part
need
of it was to see if it worked.
well, it most definitely works. I just need to ask how many
I'm
times
attuned to it.
how many times did you use it?
Just the one time,
Okay.
because they kind of went out their thing when soon as they got the information. They were like, let's try this out.
So like literally 2 blocks away and you just teleport. And it goes off without a hitch and you're down in like the basement where the teleportation circle is stored.
So at that point, after doing the teleportation, research and everything, Kem's gonna come in, plop a book down on the table, and sit, look at everyone and go, the teleportation circle works.
Oh, you tested it.
I did.
That's good. And no mess for Ollie to clean up?
No, not yet.
Good to know.
How are you feeling?
ADH Adventures, thank you for that raid. Welcome on in, everyone.
I'm not sure that question has a straightforward answer.
Never is.
Especially
Well-
not after all of that.
And then Etrin and
Yeah.
Chantra walk in. Both of
that
them
too.
looking like they, have just come out of the bath or shower or whatever. Chantra kind of limping and looking a little bruised in certain areas.
Kemek looks at them and then back at Mia and then just takes a drink.
And Ollie walks in and he's got like just a notepad. So what is everyone feeling like dinner for? Anything special?
Just a nice, warm, brothy soup for me.
Elk for me.
What was that?
Elk.
Elk, yes.
Nice elk steak.
Elk steaks, perfect.
You know what? Nalani will be upset with me if I don't get vegetables, so put some potatoes on there too, please.
Elk steaks and potatoes.
Not so sure that really counts as a vegetable, though.
Ask Nalani, it's a vegetable.
Look, it grows in the ground,
And
it's a
it
vegetable.
counts. It comes from dirt, it's a veggie.
Doesn't matter that I slather it in butter and sour cream.
This guy gets it.
It's a vegetable when it started.
And he looks around
Why?
to the rest of the table. And Etrin looks over, it's like, I'm feeling like lobster and crab legs tonight. And Chantra looks over, it's like, you know what? That sounds really good. I'll have that and some baked eel and grilled octopus.
Save some room for dessert. There's a cake.
Oh, well, we worked up an appetite. That definitely will have room for cake. And Ollie looks over to Azure Claw and Yuriko. Anything special request from you?
rabbit
can do rabbits.
with a colorful assortment
Colorful
of
assortment.
the vegetable variety.
Ah, yes, colorful vegetables. We can do that. Well, the kitchen can do that. We don't really do anything.
I'd like a sushi boat.
Sushi boats. Definitely do that. Well, I will let Pierre know about this and should be done in a moment.
So the kitchen has a name.
Well, of course he has a name.
When you say he,
Oh, I am sorry. Right, yes. Pierre is a mimic.
But
A culinary master. That's
so is he like the utensils and stuff, or
Oh, no,
when
he-
I was standing in the kitchen, was I standing in him?
yes, he is the kitchen.
I see.
Do not worry, he will not consume you. He has
Expect his name to be Sushi, but guess
Sure
it
would.
works
Thank you
well.
for that Prime sub. So he kind of like, so we sort of have a deal with Pierre. He cooks food and then he gets the leftovers and any scraps afterward.
I suppose that's a fair deal. Work for food. Let's try not to stand on him too much next time.
Oh, he doesn't mind.
No, but I do.
Walk inside the mimic to get something to eat. But I will go inform Pierre of what everyone wishes to eat and should be out momentarily. He kind of walks back and he starts calling out the order to Pierre, and you all begin to hear like the banging of pots and pans and the boiling water and all of that happening. It sounds like a live kitchen now.
Maybe that's a little piece of information we keep from any guests that we may have in the future.
What, that you have a greater mimic as a chef?
Yup.
I would also avoid rummaging in the kitchen for a midnight snack.
Lest you be the midnight snack.
As you're having this conversation, probably about 10 minutes pass, and Ollie comes out wheeling just a large tray of food, and he starts passing out all the plates, and there's even like a center spread of fruits and vegetables and various meats if like anybody wants to grab sure of anything else. Everyone is given a plate of what they ordered, and then like in the center as well is the same food, but just in case anybody wants to try some, or it's like their own serving.
Oh, I'm turning my soup into a hot pot now.
Hot pots
I'm
are
still, like,
amazing.
kind of like doing this because depending on how it is on the road, probably going to be slurping soup out of the canteen for a while or that thermos. So
because you guys
definitely
don't
indulging.
you guys don't have Nalani, you don't have your chef with you.
Yep.
You can cook. It's just, who knows how great it will be. But either way, just kind of indulging before we go on the road. So Chemic's definitely indulging right now.
Okay. So everyone, is there any conversation anyone wants to get to, or should we just?
Yeah, Yuriko is just basically chopsticks in hand, eating her sushi.
Okay.
Surprised that it actually came out in a boat.
seems like at this rate we need to perhaps stock up on certain items that are getting us into trouble. I finally was able to obtain something to help with curses, but apparently we need something now for petrifications, perhaps. Not just that, just ways to help in those situations if we ever were to encounter them again.
Yes, that and suppose some salves or elixirs to help us heal our wounds would be in order as well. I don't have any of those left myself.
We could hit the shop real quick. Stores are open for probably another couple hours before we're done. Go find some potions and whatnot, and then see where the room takes us in the morning.
So, do we know exactly what it is that we're going to be doing?
We're going to be assaulting the Sunlit City and rescuing the princess.
I mean, I know the greater overarching goal, but
There was an incident that happened that's moved up the time scale, as I have been told numerous times by Inquisitor Breton. You remember that tower? That's, well,
Yes.
we summoned?
Yeah, the murder tower.
Yep, that's
the,
the one.
the Inquisition
Mhm.
has done away with it. But
How?
it is no more.
It's not there anymore.
Destroyed. They destroyed it. It's a pile of rubble now. But the adverse effects of destroying a magical location have made the underground tram passages inaccessible nearby. There's no underground connection to, well, anywhere between Hampstead and Madtown and Hampstead and Gloom's Bend. So the only mode of transportation anyone has is the above ground trains.
How did they destroy that thing?
Inquisitor Brenton did not divulge that information. We were only told of the destruction due to the explosion that was heard for hundreds of miles. I'm told that about 250 members of the Inquisition lost their lives.
Actually, I was curious of the casualties.
That's good for us. Well, the loss of the Inquisition is good for us. The destruction of the Underground Rail, not so much.
No, but we have another means of transportation just in case if we want to go about it differently. But I'm also curious. Underground Railroad, sure, but I have been traveling for years underground through catacombs and whatnot. Could be another option, but again, it's all on foot. Depends on how inconspicuous we want to be.
The more inconspicuous, the better, in my opinion. But that's just me on a daily basis, so...
Inconspicuous and touching things.
Otherwise, we do have our pumpkin.
Oh, yes. Speaking of which, since we're all
Completely not
here,
inconspicuous.
I'm taking our group supplies, putting them in this normal plain pouch right here, and putting it on the front of my belt. So in case I ever get petrified again, this is the pouch that you break open to get our stuff.
Good to know. Thank you.
Just pinatas in the bag.
So I suppose after this we will get materials or potions real quick, and then since we have some funds to spend a little bit, be on our way.
Well, if it's potions that you're looking for, I have brewed a little myself past the time. You're welcome to the stock.
Oh.
I made
I
use of
didn't realize you did that.
I made use of the alchemy lab.
Ah,
Well,
Yeah,
that certainly
come on.
saves us some time and money.
How many were you able to make?
There are about 15 currently.
I take them all.
And never use them.
And never to use them. I don't know. I'm a wizard this time around. I
may
be
use
guzzling
one.
them. I may use some. Ah, well. I suppose we can grab those and divvy them up and whatnot. And my soul slowly hurts saying divvy them up. And so yeah. Might need them if we're gonna be saving the princess. Who knows what happens when we storm a castle?
And I would certainly like to use those instead of my own magic to heal myself every morning.
Burning
Yes.
numerous spell slots in the morning, first thing.
Couldn't be me. I'm stingy.
So the alchemy lab currently has 15 greater healing potions.
Oh shit, greater.
Raider.
Greater.
Greater. 40,
Damn.
44 plus 4 is what they heal.
So
Yeah,
if
I
we
know.
want,
That's why I was like, holy shit.
I mean, if we want for now, 3 of us could have 3 of them to hold, and one of us holds 4 of them to at least bring with us. Volunteer myself for the 4th.
Yeah, we can do that, and we can give whoever else some, like when Shadowfox comes back, we can.
Yeah, when
line them up
Shadowfox
again.
and Groods come
Yeah.
back.
Yep, that's a good idea. Because I'm still in the single digits. This is not good, guys. This is not good.
Still in the single digits of potions.
Share
Gonna
the
have to
wealth.
rob an alchemist here just to, satiate the potion lust.
I also have an alchemy kit. I'm proficient in alchemy. So, when I'm done reading this book, start making my own. Whatever.
So those are 4d4
Plus 4.
Plus
Yes.
4,
And how many are we getting?
3.
3 each. If you want to completely empty the stock.
Of course we want to completely empty the stock. What kind of question is that?
Do you see how much trouble we get in?
Oh no, I
What do
am
you take us
am
for?
very aware of how much trouble you get.
Mia.
Says the one
Stop
that's
touching shit.
resurrecting a god.
You don't know why. You don't know my reasons.
Okay,
know my
a lot of you
backstory.
playing the lot of you.
A lot of you just awakening old gods. I mean, to be fair, par for the course for this, campaign setting.
And par for the course for wizards, to be honest.
You either awaken an old god or you become a lich. I mean, there isn't really a lot of possibilities for wizards, apparently.
I mean, but thankful I'm not
Sometimes
becoming a lich. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Could be worse.
Becoming an archmage, being a lich, being an arbiter of a god, yeah, that plays out.
Yep.
I'm on par on the course, guys. That's all I'm saying. Just like how this one wants a freaking dragon everything. All right, it's wizard things.
I just want to make a cute little paper dragon and call it my familiar.
It's just a lot.
And
of
then
work
it's
for a
I
paper
just want a
dragon.
little dragon, then it's I just want a dragon, then next thing you know, you've got like
Yeah,
a
and
world
it's like,
dragon.
I want to be the dragon.
No, I've done that already.
I was gonna say, I know how you like here you could be the dragon. Just requires you to get impaled by a couple, giant coalesced mana crystals.
I got one right here.
No thanks, I'm good.
Say ah.
Close your eyes and think of something pretty.
All right, so just to speed this along a little bit, what materials were you looking for in town?
Health potions. Realistically.
Realistically, health
potions.
potions. Okay.
but also probably, God, I feel it. Realistically, I would
Antidotes.
go to a potion shop, yeah, to look for like stuff like antidotes, any kind of salves. Realistically, anything that we can afford in stock, like even something like
How much are you
potion
willing
of
to
fire
spend?
resistance.
How much are you willing to spend?
I got a bit of dough on me. To spend, yeah, I've got plenty of money. I could go up to like 1,000 or 2,
Okay.
depending on what's available.
So for 1,000 gold, so you're both spending 1,000 gold on potions.
Yes, if they're
We're
all
about to
potions,
invade.
I'm totally
We're
okay
about to
with that.
invade the church. I think
Yeah.
$1,000. You know,
Well, technically the goal is to invade the church, but you're nowhere near the capital.
I mean,
that's fine. I mean,
church.
I don't think we're heading back here anytime soon.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna call what's her face for potions when I could just get it right here and now.
So I'm going to make a note here.
Okay.
Kemek. Let me spell Kemek's name right. Probably write this in my book and not on the death pad.
It's okay. It's funny. I see like people typing in Nyrix when her name's right there on the screen.
Oh no, I
spells
just
like,
spelled
aw.
Kemek's name incorrectly. I put KM.
I mean, just KMK. That works. Kimik. That's how the people spell, you know, her name. Just Kim. That's
Alright,
the lie they
so I'm
have.
just making a note
Right.
in my book that I need to get you a list of 1,000 gold worth of potion each. That
Unless
way-
anyone else wants to spare any while we go out and about, if no one wants to like actually come, but spare money as well, let me know.
No, I'm gonna leave that in your hands. But I will
That's fine.
leave let's say 500 gold with Etrin and Chandra. He's obviously showing an interest in messing with alchemy stuff, so I'm gonna give him the funds to play while we're gone.
Like I said, I'm also willing to spend up to 2,000 depending on the potions too. So
Yeah.
some wiggle room just in case. If we happen to come across something that's a little bit more on the pricier side, then depending on what it is, yeah, I'm willing to spend it. Crazy shit today happen.
Trying to see if I have. I was looking on my drive to see if I had anything in my campaign 3 folder. But after the little shopping spree, is there anything anyone wishes to do before they turn in?
I'm gonna try and contact the Snow Mother one more time.
Okay. And what are you saying to Snow Mother?
Is there anything you need while I'm on this suicide mission?
No, what you have done so far will suffice. But if there is anything I need specifically done that requires one of your talents, I let you know.
Oh, I did that thing.
Oh, I am very aware you did. Thank you. Things should be turning in our favor soon. After I have my conversation with young Nalani.
She's rather stubborn.
As am I. But she's more confused at the moment. I aim to help quell that confusion.
I recommend a blunt object.
No, the truth is going to work so much better than any weapon could. Just continue on your path. And if I have any need of you, I shall contact you.
Very well.
And then there's just that cold silence that you're normally used to when you reach out to her.
Yep. It's like, all right, more of the same. Just gonna go hunker down, go to bed.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything specific, or are you just crashing?
Probably finishing studying my book. I also did my list. Why did it say I have 22 mice in my inventory?
Those are the mice that that
Is that what
Coon
we
had
took
gotten.
for food?
No. Those were the 22 dead mice that you got after
You took
Mia.
That's right.
Yeah, after
That's right.
after Kunkaval gave me the box of mice.
I mean, you guys like popcorn chicken, right? It's the same thing.
Basically the same thing.
I'm gonna use it soon. Though. It's like
I've-
technically
I've-
it's a day old.
I've eaten mystery meat hamburgers at 3 a.m. in Mexico, and I'm alive. So.
I mean, technically they're only a day old right now. So, you know, we should probably have it the first night out.
Yeah, probably.
I was so confused. I'm like, why is 22 mice in my inventory?
Oh, wait a second. Can you give me a D20 roll for those?
Sure.
Oh dear God.
13.
Huh?
Nice.
13.
13? Yeah, those mice aren't good anymore.
Oh.
You look in the bag and they've aged about a month.
Oh, because you're gotta eat the whole time nonsense.
Yeah.
So you just have a bag of rotting mice right now.
Goblins have carried stranger things.
This is true.
Spell component? Spell component. Now I'm gonna dump it.
Okay.
I'll throw them in the fire. Get from snack
It's
crackle poppage.
gonna make a lovely smell in the mansion.
I'm not gonna be there the rest of the time. That's Ollivander's problem now. Look at this goblin's face. Do you think this is a face that cares?
Does this look like a face of consideration?
I ain't gonna be here is his problem. The fire will burn it out. It's fine. It takes a day or two.
All right,
Thank
so
God I could delete that.
if nobody has anything else they wish to do, the night passes. Everyone gets a full rest. And you wake up in the morning to somebody pounding on your front door.
Nothing new.
It's Ollivander's job.
And it Ollie doesn't even go downstairs. He just gets over, he like starts talking into the pipe system in the house, like, "Hi, Inquisitor Breton is at the front door. Can one of you please answer it? The last time I did, I got swung on, and I really don't want that again."
I'll go answer it. Okay, give me a
Never mind.
second. Throw on a robe. I'm sure I have a robe in my room. And go answer the front door, prepared to dodge a punch.
And she kind of, as you open it, she just sits there with a very annoyed look on her face.
Can I help you?
I said first thing in the morning.
It is morning. We're just getting up.
You have obviously never had any sort of military training. I said first thing, meaning first light. It is beyond first light now, Mia. Please gather your friends.
If
We
you meant
have-
first light. You should have said first. Like first thing is like first thing you do in the morning. This is the first thing we're doing in the morning.
Mia,
Yes.
Look at my face.
Hi.
Do I look amused?
Not in the slightest.
Then go get your friends and get ready. We need to leave.
All right. Just give us a couple minutes to get dressed.
Well, I can't have you walking around the city naked.
Preferably not, as I'm wandering back to our rooms. And knocking on everyone's door as I go by.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm almost ready. I always come pre-packed.
It should make me pastry to go.
As you say that, you hear like an audible banging of pots, like giving you that affirmation that it heard you.
Good kitchen.
And then there's a ding as a dumbwaiter like opens up in your room, and there's a pastry.
Glorious.
Sometimes I almost feel like it's the kitchen going like, yay, I'm being used. It's been so long. It's like the seal that just.
Maybe it's less yay I'm being used and more yay leftovers.
That's true.
I get to lick the spoon.
They only asked for one pastry. Well, I'm making a dozen.
One pastry, got it. Baker's dozen.
I'm thinking like basically mini portable meat pie pastry.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, like not like a Pop-Tart, but you know, something to fill you up.
Yeah. Meat pie and a pastry shell. Let's go.
I imagine at that point, with Mick coming downstairs and smelling that in the kitchen, probably pop in and grab one themselves.
Okay.
Just be like, ooh.
Master Claw comes
While waiting.
downstairs while like putting gear on, pie stuffed in his beak. It's like,
Or does he do this?
No, like beak half open, pie just stuffed in there as a holding.
It's like
Aw.
just like the scene of Sailor Moon. She's got the bread in her mouth running to school.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't wanna.
So after getting ready, but before going back down to the front door, Mia will just pop into both Etrin's room and Chantra's room and let them know that we're leaving. And probably give them each a lengthy hug before going.
Okay. Posted a GIF in Discord as to like what I feel like this is going to turn into for
Hey, we've got a dumbwaiter and a kitchen on demand, okay?
Yep. You have a replicator, let's face it.
I have to put in less effort in my day? Sweet.
Just yell at your wall and food appears.
Or mumble at your wall while your head's under a pillow.
So everyone at some point in time gets ready, comes downstairs. Lisa looks over all of you. All right. So you've missed the morning meeting. Not a problem. I'll give you the rundown. The underground system is destroyed. There's no way for us to access it. So you're going to take the normal train to Gloom's Bend. From there, you can access the underground train that they have. That should take you directly to the outpost at Sun's Crest. Once there, we just need to get access to the city. Don't worry, I am coming with you. If anybody asks, you are simply my Inquisition charges. You shouldn't run into any trouble or questioning, especially not at Gloom's Bend. The head priest there is a personal friend of mine.
And it's okay if we walk in with you to Sun's Crest, as Kemek points to themselves and Adderclaw.
I don't see why it would be a problem. As long as you as long as you remain with me and act as Inquisition charges, there should be no issue.
And what's the plan once we get there? Once we get inside of the wall?
That's where the fun begins. We're going to meet with a couple members of the Resistance that have built a base of operations inside Morning Glory. From there, we'll come up with a plan as to how we are going to go about rescuing the princess.
How long will it take us to get there? At least to get through the gate.
It all depends on when the next train from Gloom's Bend to Sun's Crest runs. Given the unfortunate incidents with the tower and the underground rails for here, it may be a bit longer. It may be a bit more security. I may have to pull some strings in order to get you on. But just be on your best behavior.
Aren't we always?
She gets a very blank look on her face.
Yeah, Yuriko scoffs at that statement.
You're a part of the Mad Dogs. I know better. Esme does not employ anybody on their best behavior.
Oh, give us some time to get to know Gloom's Bend then while we're there.
Yes, lay off the magic if possible. While they're a little more illuminated in the quote-unquote true ways of Lathander, magic still rubs some of them the wrong way.
Of course.
I suppose they'll be able to feel that pulse through the weave if we cast any spells. Been so long since we've had to worry about that. I haven't really thought about it.
The pulse is very strong in there. But as long as you're not sacrificing anyone or doing any bits of necromancy, should be fine.
Perfect.
It'll be fine, yes.
I just have to say that if any of you are caught doing something you're not supposed to, I cannot pull my weight in order to save you.
We'll be careful.
Charges are expendable and expected to follow the rules.
Be on our best behavior.
See that you are. She reaches into a satchel and she hands each of you a ticket for the train. Now, the story is that you were sent to investigate the happenings outside of Hampstead, that the Inquisition received word of something dire that was affecting one of the farms. You've done your job, and you are heading to Gloom's Bed to report. The station isn't too far outside the city walls, as I'm aware most of you know. There shouldn't be many people there. You shouldn't have to deal with anyone. It's normally only used for travelers who no longer want to walk the rest of the way, or in this point in time, they don't want to freeze to death. And it should definitely be less bumpy than your last train ride.
Here's hoping.
My thoughts exactly.
Though I have to warn you, 12-hour ride.
Plenty of time to read.
And
Long as
talk.
it does not blow up this time.
On the plus side, since you are Inquisition charges, you have access to our private car. Accommodations should be more than what you're used to.
Should not be surprised that the Inquisition gets their own fancy cars on these trains.
Well, we are the defenders from darkness. And as she says that, you can see just a very, very sharp look of sarcasm on her face.
Sailor Moon quotes not circling through my head right now. Nope.
Well, all right then. I guess if we're all ready to go, it's a good day to topple a theocracy.
Let's go.
Yay.
It's just like for the Inquisition.
Let's walk into the dragon's den.
Before they leave though, Chemical kind of step off to the side and not exactly expecting an answer or anything, but just kind of pull out the sending stone and basically say, we're gonna be gone for a while, Nalani. Inquisition work, of course. Blah, blah. We'll be going to Gloom's bed and then heading to the Sun's Crest. I will keep you informed on where we are on the way. Hope you're still alive. But Wayne starts walking out.
Okay. And you don't get a
Full updates.
you don't get a response, but you feel as she heard the message.
Why stuff? They know she's busy.
So with that, Lisa leads you back out that the hidden pathway that the guards use to get outside the city walls, and you walk for probably about a good 2 miles around the perimeter of the city to where you find a makeshift train depot. Just a singular platform for anyone looking to board the train. Nothing too fancy, nothing that screams that this is a train station. More of a hindrance than anything to those traveling, but it was a stop that was felt needed to be made. And as you stand on the solitary platform for about an hour, the train finally arrives. They take your tickets and you're led into the Inquisition's personal car. Thankfully, there is no one here. You have the entire car to yourselves. The inside of this car is emblazoned with the red and gold colors of the Church and the Inquisition. The symbols of the burning sun of Lathander are pretty much covering every possible inch of fabric and finery in here. It's very hard to find an empty space that doesn't remind you of the church itself. So there is a personal bar. There is a waiter who will, take orders and bring food. The chairs inside are comfortable enough. There are personal bunks in the corner for anyone who needs to sleep, but this is home for the next 12 hours.
And Lisa joined us, right?
Yes, Lisa is with you. And as soon as she sits down, you see that the waiter brings her a hot cup of mead. She nods and thanks him, and the train sort of jerks and begins to pick up speed again as it sets off from the station.
I'm gonna sit down right beside her.
Okay.
Very, very obviously kind of looking in her direction, but not directly at her. Just kind of waiting to wear her down until she's just like, "Oh, what do you want?" type of thing.
Okay. And she sits there for a moment, just nursing the mead, and she sort of looks over at you. Is there something that I can do for you, Mia?
Well, we've got a lot of time. I thought we could chat.
We definitely do have a lot of time, and I'm not necessarily doing anything at the moment, so a chat may be a thankful passing of time.
Wonderful. So do tell, how did you take down the tower?
Well, I didn't take down the tower. I've been in Hampstead this entire time, but
Well, your
the
people.
initial plan was to take charges, I believe they're called, and align them around the outside of the base of the tower and then detonate them all at once.
How did they get past the fence?
That is something that I myself would like to know, but your guess at this point is as good as mine.
Charges. Do you know what the charges were made from? Is this something the Inquisition uses a lot?
They're called explosives. Not something like the crystals that you've seen previously. They're almost made out of a plastic, from what I understand. It's a creation of one of the artificers back at the college.
Artificers shouldn't be surprised.
They are a useful lot. I will give them that, though sometimes a bit dangerous.
Certainly. So, you are quite high up in the ranks, I would say, being a little bit generous with that. You're like a leader of some sort.
I am the leader of the Inquisition.
Why turn on these people?
I had my eyes opened up. There was a situation in Gloom's Bend, of all places, and a strange entity took over the church. A lot of people apparently had lost their lives. The town was dead. I sent in a charge of convicts in order to take care of the situation, and if they failed, a purge was to happen of the city. And, well, at one point or another, they found Lathander.
Is that like if they were brought into the fold of the church type of found Lathander? Or...
No, they physically found Lathander.
Like an avatar of the god, Lathander?
No, not an avatar. The actual god. Strange being. Strange from what I've seen, or from what I was told. Very laid back. Was giving random villagers high fives as he was walking by. Not something you expect from a very powerful being, but the town had actually been destroyed by a staff that's one of the convicts found and had used. But they seemingly were able to reverse it and had a conversation with Lathander. The purge order had been stopped. And then after a conversation, after I was brought into the fold with the now high priest of Gloomsbend, I had my suspicions confirmed. There was a lot of shady work being done by the church in this town. They had a catacomb full of bodies they were experimenting on.
Seems
What
like
kind of
something the church would
experiments?
do. Oh, Kamek, hi.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
she
I just was listening.
yeah, Lisa isn't very quiet in this.
Oh, the second Mia asked the question, Kemek was like, ear twitch. That's something I'm interested in, and has been listening in ever since.
They were trying to, well, they created ghouls, but after a deeper investigation into the files that they kept and in the documents, they were trying to imbue light into the corpses to be used as a expendable soldier for the church. A wholly reanimated corpse, but necromancy doesn't work that way. And all they made were dozens of ghouls that they then kept locked up underneath the church itself.
And how long ago did all of this happen? Like, you don't suppose it's been long enough that perhaps they've taken this research and advanced upon it in further secret?
I'm trying to remember how long I said it was between this and...
I think it's been like a month or two. When we first started.
Yeah. Because it hasn't been that long.
No, it has to have been at least a couple of years because the train system was developed and the College of Artifice was founded.
Well, that's true. It was still being.
Oh no,
it was being
no,
worked
no.
on.
There's a little tidbit of lore about the train system that you haven't learned. But yeah, it was definitely only a couple months.
Maybe it's just been like a handful of months, but I
think it was.
could've
I
sworn
think it was
under a
6
year.
months. I think it was 6 months.
That's
The
yeah.
start of the campaign was 6 months after the incidents of the hunt for candy.
Yeah.
It's been a little over 6 months since all this happened. The research that we acquired has been destroyed. I've personally seen to it. So any documents that were there that had not already been shared have been destroyed to time.
Well, that's good, I suppose. No,
Yes.
I have no doubt that the church is up to much more shady shit that we don't know about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but that I do know about.
Oh, so they are up to more shady shit then. Do tell.
You do know of their search for celestial imbued people.
Oh, I do.
The ASMR, in to be specific. They're being collected. They're being told that they are to serve a higher purpose for the church. That they are all the chosen of Lathander, and they are all to be brought into the city and to be worshipped as such. That's not the case. They're a battery.
Battery.
A battery that the church and its followers use to draw for their holy power. I assume it's too late now. The cat is out of the bag. The church has not had Lathander's blessing for quite some time.
Can't imagine why.
This so-called light that they wield is harnessed from these celestial touched beings. Any priest that heals, any priest that smites, are drawing their power specifically from these celestial beings. But they do not know this. They feel they are under the impression that Lathander himself is giving them his light to bring good to the peoples.
So they prop them up on a pedestal for the world to see and convince the people that they are a symbol of Lathander's gift, and in a back room this whole time they're draining us of the very thing that makes us real in this plane, that keeps us going, keeps us alive.
Until they're a husk, yes.
How long do the bodies last for before they expire?
All depends on how much holy power is being consumed by the priests. In a time of peace, one can last months. If a war or a grand battle were to break out, those months could be days.
How many batteries it took to take down that tower?
None, thankfully. We
Oh,
used
good.
explosives to take down the tower.
Oh, okay.
I tend to limit how much holy power is being used by the Inquisition. Most Inquisition operatives are more of a physical sort. Any magic that we use or any devices that may look magic that we use come directly from the artificers.
Good to know. Very good to know.
When you first told us about this operation that we're headed on, you had mentioned that perhaps we may need a distraction of some kind once we're in the city. Is that still needed? Because I'm really feeling like cutting down some priests right now.
Wrong distraction.
Well, that would definitely be a distraction, but that would be bad for you. But I believe a distraction will happen once we're inside the city. As much as I wish to cut some down myself, Amelia has to be our top priority. She is a ASMR herself. She is pretty much the puppet that the High Priest is using to maintain control over the city. Thankfully, she is not used as a battery. She is far too embedded in the public eye. A surviving child of assassinated parents, a chosen of Lathander, a leader of the light. But it's only a matter of time before that sweet little girl is used as something more than just a mouthpiece.
A lot of issues. Lots of problems.
That's only
Messy
the half of
solutions.
it.
Oh, I'm sure. And how many people have discovered the real truth behind this? How many people are on your side?
Small handful of resistance members that we have. Blue, his organization, Alistair, the king and queen, couple agents that we have inside the city, and now all of you.
Interesting. And this lie, I don't think we caught their name, this High Priest of Gloomspend.
That's because I can't remember his name.
Callum?
Yeah, I don't
Callum?
remember
Callum.
either.
Yeah, it's Callum.
Callum or Kaleem?
Kaleem. It's Kaleem. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Colleen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doran.
Brother Kaleem, a good man, a true believer now in Lathander's light. Thankfully, as he has been in contact with him, any power that he draws is being drawn from the actual god.
Interesting.
Question, Kamek. Everything that the High Inquisitor has told us, is it all true?
You haven't seen
True.
you haven't seen her wince in pain at all.
Kevin will look back. Nod. This is all truth.
And as
Though I suppose with some of the exposure and what we've learned about the church, I'm not surprised. But at the same time, it disgusts me.
as painful as all of this sounds and as angry as you all must be, I must ask you to keep all of this to yourselves until we find a way to expose the high priest and expose what's happening inside the church to everyone.
Like anyone would believe us.
That's why we need the proof. If we were to spout it off now, we would just be branded heretics, corrupted by the darkness.
Information is key. With information to back it up, of course, as you said, evidence. So it would just be wasted breath to start spelling the word.
You have put yourself at great risk telling us all this information and your involvement in it. It is a level of trust that I didn't expect from you. So I think it's only fair we put all of our cards on the table. If you recall, when you first recruited us, I'd questioned about creatures being able to detect heritage in us, certain bloods like celestial or infernal. I asked because I am of celestial blood. I'm not an Aasimar, though. I'm what's called a Valkyrie.
I know.
You know why, Kamek? Why does everybody know this?
She pulls out a solid.
You're not a good liar.
No, she reaches into her into her bag and she pulls out a solid gold heart, like a human heart, and you can see that it's like pulsing in like very bright light. This is what they use to detect you. I knew from the start, on our first meeting, you were at least somewhat of a celestial descendant. But as you are under now my protection, they can't touch you.
Just gonna ask when we walk into the city, other inquisitors might feel that pulse, so that's good to know.
You are my charges, thus you answer only to me. And that's only for show. I'm not going to order you to do anything you don't want.
And this isn't going to be a problem once we get in there. We're not going to have somebody above you get in our way.
There is nobody beyond this wall that is above me. When I am outside Sun's Crest, as High Inquisitor, my word is law. Not even the high priests of these cities can go against my orders. So Kaleem would not go against my orders anyway. As I said, he is a true priest.
That's some level of comfort, I suppose. Is there anything that I should be concerned about within the wall? If Celestials are being used as batteries, I don't have to worry about that myself, do I? It's not like a proximity thing?
A heart is a proximity. It detects celestials within 30 feet of us. But as my charge, no one may touch you.
Good.
It was one of the reasons why I brought you into the fold. So I can at least protect one of you. He just like slips the heart back into the bag.
Not gonna lie, it would be very handy to have those. Just saying, just a thought, thinking out loud.
Well, you come across one of these celestial hunters and you're able to free it from them. Well, then you'll have one.
Not saying I'll full attack one, but if it requires us to defend ourselves, I wouldn't mind snatching one.
One can be made, but it requires the actual heart of a celestial descendant.
I'll just acquire one for means.
I quite like the idea of killing these hunters. I'm with you, Kamek.
You shouldn't come across any in Gloom's Bend.
Pity. But understandable. I'm sure any we do come across are probably more likely allies than not.
For the most part.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do have one other question. Well, it's kind of a two-part question, I suppose. How long have you been the leader of the Inquisition?
15 years.
15 years. And were you on good terms with the previous leader?
Well, the previous leader was my father. So I would hope I was on good terms with him.
And he was leader of the Inquisition for many years, I assume.
Since the start. Though back in his day, the Inquisition wasn't necessarily what it is today. Back when the church first started, I believe Lathander's light actually did touch us. The Inquisition served to protect those outside Sun's Crest, fighting off the undead, demons, all sorts of hellish creatures that called this snow-covered island home.
You know, you say that, but my experience is to the contrary. See, my mother, my adoptive mother, told me that the Inquisition killed my parents. Cut them down in the street.
Who were your parents?
They were both Asimar. They were trying to get away from the church, from what I was told. And they were cut down for it.
How messed up would that be if that heart that's in right now is...
Kamek, you don't need to say the quiet part loud.
Sorry. Big grin, but kind of like...
As like a very concerned look crosses Lisa's face. I don't remember any reports of orders coming out to hunt Asimar that early in the church's life.
Yes, I was an infant at the time. It would have been over 20 years ago.
Years.
What I was told, my adoptive mother came across my parents' camp and found them slaughtered.
20 years. Right when he started taking over. Golden Scale. The High Priest.
Is he the one that's in charge of it all now?
He's the one that's always been in charge of it. Since the beginning of the church, he was the High Priest, a Morning Lord, a voice of Lathander. But 20 years ago, that's when things started changing. Talk of heresy, magic being evil. And everything started to go to hell. Though at that point in time, the king and queen were still in power, they kept him reined in as much as they could. So it wouldn't surprise me if there were orders given to specific Inquisition members to hunt Celestials down, but I don't know why they would cut them down.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I am coming up empty as well. Come up empty on that question for many, many years. They were innocent. They worked with the church, and from what I was told, they wanted to leave, and this is what happened.
Do you have their names?
I was an infant. I never knew their names.
When we pull into Gloom's Bend, I will see if I can find anything out about these killings.
If we find out that this Golden Scale is responsible for their deaths, I will make a strong effort to make a public example of him. I want you to be aware of that. I will cut him down in the middle of the city.
You don't have to worry. If that were to happen, I would be happily by your side.
But let's also be smart about it. It's not like you can just walk up and cut them down. There'll be riots and followers that you'll have to deal with as well.
That
Of course.
sweet little girl that he has kept in that castle is like a little sister to me. So if opportunity presents itself to run my sword through his chest, know that I would happily do it repeatedly.
It will be a joint effort then.
I have a feeling it's going to have to be a very large joint effort. That man is never without his personal guard.
Well, that's good. We can make him watch as we burn down his chapel, and then we cut him down. Together.
Maybe.
Quick question.
Mhm.
The high priest of Morning Glory, do we know what he is as far as like race?
Dragonborn, gold.
Makes sense.
Brad, yeah, okay. I don't know why I was envisioning an elf, but no. High elf didn't seem too far out of the realm.
Not Kamarasta. We've already
I
dealt
was like,
with that
too
problem.
far.
Oh, it's just,
High
Etrin's
elf
father.
bullshit.
It's Etrin's father.
He was a dragon. Yeah. Okay.
All right, but I think with that, we are going to go ahead and end for the night. As we are
Good
we're
information.
running a little over, but never a bad thing. But that is going to do it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is not the only show that we do on this channel. On this upcoming Saturday, I believe we have another episode of Wayward Wanderers.
Christmas episode.
Is it a
Yep.
Christmas episode?
Yeah.
Nice. So a Christmas episode
Nice.
of Wayward Wanderers, which is our
That's cool.
Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azarin. On the upcoming Monday is another episode of Mass Effect Horizons. No?
No, I'm going out of town on Monday, exactly the time we're supposed to start. So, but we'll be good to go the following Monday. It's
All
just
right.
that Monday, I just bad timing on
Is it just
traveling.
so is Monday a day off or is it
It is a day off.
okay?
It's a break. Unless you wanted to squeeze in an Into the Wildlands episode. Since the last one was
I need to
think it was
figure out
scheduled
I
for a
need to
holiday.
figure out what to do with Into the Wildlands since a certain death cleric is no longer available.
Ooh, it's true.
Though
Yeah.
Guest? Who wants to be a guest?
I have an idea that I'll run by Zorro and Fox after we get off. I have an idea.
Okay.
But yeah, so we are normally live on Mondays for episodes of Mass Effect Horizons, which is our 5th edition Mass Effect mod campaign, which is run by Zorro. On Tuesdays, you have us here on Destiny Forged, and I'm the DM. And then on the alternating
Hi.
Saturdays when Wayward Wanderers is not happening, we have another show called Withered Wastes, which is a fifth edition not Extinction Curse, 5th edition post-apocalyptic style campaign, which is another one that I do. But yeah, also at some point in time we are going to have the season 2 Destiny Forged Battle Royale at some point, where it's going to be a bunch of level 20 characters trying to beat the ever-loving hell out of us. And then sometime after that will be the Behold Roleplay Invitational, which is going to be multiple characters from multiple campaigns put in I don't know if I want to make it a team game or if I want to make it a free-for-all. So we're going to I'll hash that out. But for now, we are going to head on out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you on Saturday.